have to talk about how the CIA blew up Nord Stream.
Oh, this is good.
Yeah.
Let's get into this.
I am really starting to say that, and I think it's important that people need to understand this. The United States and its intelligence service are not one and the same. And I'm really starting to get like that. I think the CIA, the Pentagon, the military-industrial complex is the most dangerous thing on the planet. I'm just getting to that point.
Now, Seymour Hersh is no joke. Hold on. Series of powerful explosion destroyed the Nord Stream 1-2 pipelines that run through the Baltic from Russia to Germany, provide cheap gas to mainland Europe. The attack was soon revealed to have been deliberate act, but no culprit has yet been identified. Hersh, 85, who broke stories such as the mass murder of 500 civilians in My Lai in Vietnam, and the torture of prisoners at the Abu Ghraib prison in Iraq, says that the Black Op was ordered by President Biden and that the attack was carried out by the CIA cooperation with Norway. Wow. In a 5,000-word report published on the online publishing platform Substack, Hersh writes that the operation was disguised under the cover of a widely publicized midsummer NATO exercise known as the Baltic Operation 22, or Baltops 22, which was conducted in June off the coast of Germany. He says that Biden's decision to sabotage the pipeline came after more than 9 months of top-secret planning within the Army national security community. For much of that time, the issue was not whether to do the mission, but how to get it done with no overt clue as to who was responsible. Wow. Dude. Once hailed the greatest American investigative reporter, Hersh's most recent stories have been called into question. These include articles about how the U.S. found Osama bin Laden and calling into question the use of chemical weapons on Syrian civilians by Syria's regime, which were criticized for relying heavily on anonymous sources and lacking hard evidence. Seymour Hersh, though, is at 85 still doing the damn thing. In his report on Nord Stream, Hersh has quoted an anonymous source with direct knowledge of the operational planning. Wow. He said that the deep-sea divers from the U.S. Navy's Diving and Salvage Center in Panama City, Florida, the largest diving facility in the world, planted C4 explosives alongside the pipeline, which were later triggered by a sonar buoy dropped by a plane.
Wow.
This is pretty specific.
Sick.
This is
Hersh has
crazy.
claimed that on September 26, 2022, a Norwegian Navy P-8 surveillance plane made a seemingly routine flight and released the sonar buoy. The signal spread underwater initially to Nord Stream 2 and then on Nord Stream 1. A few hours later, the high-powered C4 explosives were triggered and 3 of the 4 pipelines were put out of commission. Within a few minutes, pools of methane gas that remained in the shuttered pipelines could be seen spreading on the water surface, and the world learned that something irreversible had taken place. Now, Seymour Hersh is very specific about his claims here. So, here's my question.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what happened?
100%. The only problem is it wasn't just us. It was England did it too. The whole NATO. It's all working together. We're just the ones who probably pulled it, acted out.
Why? Here's my question. Why would we do that to our allies in Europe? So that they'd rely on our oil?
No, because we're trying to draw Russia into war.
Wait.
It sounds like it forces Germany's hand quite a bit.
It sounds like Germany now cannot. They got 80% of their natural gas, I think, from Russia. So now that means that Germany and Europe in general has to rely on OPEC and the United States. And Russia is completely taken out. So Russia had this huge, that's very interesting. This is actually what I believe 100% the CIA
You're swinging around Occam's razor right now.
Well, no, because the CIA would have done this because what they said was they go, okay, Russia's got Germany by the balls because Germany right now is trying to fucking live on coal and firewood. Yeah. And so Russia knows that Europe needs them. They need their pipeline for so many reasons because they have no other natural gas. So all of a sudden,
that crazy?
Yeah. So the CIA goes, the White House goes, we'll make that decision for you. Watch this. Hey, Russia, now you don't have anybody by the balls because we did irreversible damage to those pipelines.
Yeah.
Which will take like 3 years to get back online. Yeah. At least. So boom, we blow it up.
Yeah, but now didn't they say it's already back online?
I doubt it.
I've heard that like Russia's like, yeah, we're good.
No, I don't think so. Russia will say they're good, but the problem is Russia is now even more isolated. Now they can't rely on all that money that they were getting from Europe for their natural gas that Europe needs.
We are watching an invisible hand starting World War III.
Or it's starving Russia of much needed money to keep this meat chopper going, where they're just throwing bodies at the Ukraine. So what they really did was cut off a major source of income for the Russian economy and the Russian people, and more importantly, the Russian power structure. So now they're going to go broke. What are they going to do? Where are they going to get weaponry? Nobody's going to give them weapons.
I think what you're talking about is this is happening in real time, and this didn't happen in real time.
Yeah. None of the 4 pipelines are currently operational.
Damn.
I got to be honest with you. I think it's a genius move.
Jesus, Bryan.
Because now Russia is isolated. See, I think what the Europeans know is that Russia is not going to stop at. They're not going to stop at Ukraine. They're going to keep going into Poland. They're going to try to regain what the Soviet Union was, and that seems to be what most global strategists say. So the rock and the hard place is bleed Russia dry on the Ukrainian battlefield. Well, it's ugly. It's ugly, but that's what I think this is about.
So is Putin a modern day Hitler?
No,
I mean he's not.
Come on, bro.
Putin is.
You really think Putin, after we did that Putin's the bad guy?
Well, Putin.
That was sloppy. No, he's not quite as bad.
If you get rid of Putin,
I
love when people say Putin. If you get rid of Putin, somebody is going to take Putin's place in Russia, who's going to be exactly the same way. This is a battle for their existential
disagreement
survival.
with your guys' assessment of this, and I think this is dangerous. I think this is typical U.S. military industrial complex banker bullshit that we've seen over and over and over again, which is starting fights, causing wars to cash checks and break necks. That's why things going on. I do not. So if you want to take a look, this is no different than what they did in Syria. Okay.
So is Russia? What did Russia do in Afghanistan? Was it Russia who invaded Afghanistan? Russia's always been an expansionist country. And more importantly, they go into countries, take everything over, and kill everybody. Talk to the Chechenis about this.
Bryan!
And then take all their resources.
And we don't do that?
No, we do not.
What?
Are you comparing the United States to Russia?
Yeah, 100%,
Are
Bryan.
you really?
Yeah, Bryan, what just happened in the Middle East? How many people died?
The Middle East was a different story.
Okay, here we go.
It was
here we go.
different.
Should we have it with asterisks? The million people that died should have come with an asterisk?
No.
Oh my God! It's like asterisk. Look down, fine print. It's a different story.
No,
is that what you're saying?
No, I think the Middle East was something that happened after 9/11, where people go, "Oh shit."
Okay, so we're going off the assumption that it was 22 guys. Is that what we're going off of, Bryan?
Well,
are we still doing that?
Well,
okay, Bryan.
Any serious
Bryan, that's the problem.
That.
Your jumping off point is there's like high dive, higher dive, retarded, and that's where you're jumping off of right now. You're jumping off of the retarded board. Okay.
You only have 3. You really shouldn't have any of those. But if you get to 3, you can't say it 3 times. You're tapped out on your R word.
Okay, no more R words.
But also, why would you put somebody who's mentally challenged on the highest platform? That's so mean. That is so awful. Like, that is like, well, you're such a mean person that you take the person and go, that's your platform, and then he falls and hits his tummy or on his back, and it's a disaster.